Hello everyone, and welcome to Summoner's Rift. And after an absolutely brutal DC, people are wondering, can Thresh recover? So I've got some League of Legends gameplay going on here, and apparently Fraps doesn't like it when I record League of Legends, and so I've got this border around my screen that
hitting me is like boxing.
Doesn't allow me to free scroll, so I'm going to be doing this locked on, unfortunately. So before I took a break from League of Legends, I was actually relatively decent at it. I made it to Platinum 4. I've mentioned in a few videos before that I used to play League of Legends quite often, and when I first started playing it, I played it like way more than a human being could. But I really enjoy MOBA games, and when I started making YouTube videos, I kind of stopped playing League of Legends, and whenever I had the urge to play a MOBA, I always played Smite. I enjoy Smite, so it was a fine substitute for me. But you know, after some time off, it was nice to come back to some League of Legends. But as my gameplay in Smite, also in this game as well, when you're playing and also trying to commentate at the same time, you're probably going to suffer a little bit. So, that being the case, definitely forgive me for the mistakes I'm more than likely going to be making on this particular playthrough. So I'm going to go ahead and get away from this Twitch. Oh crap, I'm going to play. OP. Alright. I secured first blood to get that first blood gold in before Twitch could get his end, because I knew he was going to go for it very soon. Not being able to free roam my screen is extremely annoying. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and turn off all chat, because all chat only causes problems. Where's all chat? There it is. But, all chat is a very rage-inducing, part of the game. It's not necessary. You don't have to talk to your competition, you know, in order to communicate properly with the team. And so, there's really no reason to have it on, unless you just... Wow, that Twitch flash. I guess he really didn't like my point of view in all chat. Alright, gonna go back. I haven't went back once this entire time yet. And since Trendemir's able to come and gank, odds are their jungler can come and gank as well. So, just gonna go ahead and take off for a moment. Hopefully the Vayne won't go in and die. For some reason, it always seems to happen to me whenever I leave lane without my AD carry, which doesn't happen often, but in situations like that where they die early and I need to stay to protect lane, you know, obviously they're going to go back and have a fresh start, whereas I'm staying in lane duking it out. So when that's the case, sometimes I do have to go back and leave my AD carry in lane by themselves. It also allows them to catch up with some experience, but sometimes they feel like they can 2v1 for some reason, and it completely screws me over. Because, you know, obviously, then the enemy team is up, and next thing you know, AD carry is fed, and especially for Twitch, you don't want him to be fed. Not the Twitch. Do not feed the rat. Oh, I don't know if this is a good engage or not. I guess we're gonna find out. Crap. Alright, I may have wasted my pink ward there. I got a little optimistic thinking that I could stop him, but then Vayne's Condemn kind of like pushed him out of range. I do say I appreciated like the wards a lot more when they were all invisible. The fact now that Oracle's pink wards are now no longer invisible makes things a lot more complicated. That on him real quick. Definitely did not want him flashing away, although I'm pretty sure his flash was still down from the time he failed flashed. around this area. But, you know, better safe than sorry. Get the flash, take the kill, get a bunch of experience up on him. You know, you definitely, when you're laning, you want to focus more on CS than anything else, as far as the AD carry is concerned. But also, if you're able to take the enemy AD carry out of the lane so you can farm and get up in experience, that's really what matters. It's not always about you getting experience, it's more about denying the enemy experience. And the more and more you do that, the more and more you'll pull ahead. So that's definitely a theme that you need to make sure you follow bottom lane, especially because typically an AD carry is an extremely valid role to carry a game with. This Tryndamere is going to die from him. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. I forgot he had his one ability. His one ability, right? Like, because everyone knows what I'm talking about. Alright, so we're heading back into lane here. And I wish I had a sight stone right now. I mean, we're getting, yeah, we just passed the 10-minute marker. I would like to have a sight stone right now. Definitely need to start leveling my W because my E is getting leveled up relatively nicely. And if you wait too long to level up your W, you may as well not level it up at all because it's just so damn useless at such a late game perspective. And I hooked a minion accidentally. Obviously with Vayne, you know, Twitch, if he gets fed, he's extremely dangerous. But with a Vayne, you know, if I'm able to land a hook on the switch, it's pretty much done. He doesn't really have any means of an escape other than his stealth, and he has to be able to get that off really quickly. So, we're definitely going to take out the thresh. I'm not going to even bother exhausting the Twitch because he was too focused on getting out of there. Like, you know, we kind of had that thresh sandwiched in. And the Twitch, you know, he was reacting like we were coming for him, which, you know, would have been the preferred target, but that isn't how it ended up going. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust him now. No, Vayne, going the wrong way. Ooh, Vayne, get some life steal, get some life steal. Damn it. Alright, so Vayne didn't get the life steal in time. And so Twitch was able to secure the kill on her because of his passive. But that's okay. I'm still here. I can still make sure I get the minion shoved out nicely. And there's the enemy Thresh, who's many levels behind me. And he's going to go ahead and miss the hook on me real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and just trade hooks with him because I'm definitely a lot more powerful than he is right now. And if he's willing to sit here and trade hooks with me, then I will definitely take that opportunity. And it looks like he may have actually already went back again. So instead of going back like I was originally going to do, I'm actually going to sit here and farm a little bit. Since I'm in an uncontested lane, I might be able to pick up the switch again once Vayne gets down here. We'll see. Maybe not. They might have a warden here. Let me see if I can grab a kill on this guy. There we go. It's always weird taking Thresh as with a runic shield for starters because you don't get the same benefit as a melee champion with runic shield. You actually have to land the last hit in order to get like the last hit bonus, and it's extremely difficult for someone who doesn't necessarily practice last hitting regularly. As a support, you know, if I'm ever expected to play a role that's not support, I'm pretty garbage. You know, I can do jungle as well because you usually have uncontested last hitting. Okay, he's gone. Let him go. Just grab my lantern. Oh god, we're gonna be easy prey. No, just run, babe. Just run. You don't want none of this. He's gonna go in a fucking bush and hop on your face. Get out of here. I want the kills too. Trust me. I'm gonna get him like this. No. Vayne, there we go, Vayne. There we go, Vayne. Made him proc his jump, and he couldn't jump again from the bush because he was visible. And so we were able to grab him up. And, you know, that's one of the biggest things about MOBA is not only understanding your particular champion, but also understanding what other champions are capable of as well. That's probably the biggest thing with MOBAs is understanding what all the champions are capable of, as well as understanding what all the items do. Okay, take the focus for her so she doesn't get hit by it. You know, that's the ideal situation, is to make sure you always take the tower focus for your AD carry, so your AD carry doesn't have to worry about getting hit by both the enemy AD carry and also by the tower at the same time. Bottom lane, we are definitely doing some pretty hardcore stuff. I hope he goes in on me. Oh, no, he didn't. Alright, and he failed to flay as well. Alright, so it's hard to feel successful when the matchup you're going against is clearly, like, you know, they're clearly using a new champion, someone that they haven't used for a whole lot. They're not exactly, you know, I'm sorry, I had to focus for that again. Yeah, so pretty much when you're going against a champion, and especially when it's like a mirror matchup, because we're both using thresh, it's hard to feel good about winning because you know you're good with the champion because you've used him for a long time. And you know, sometimes based on the performance of them, you can tell that they clearly don't use that champion very often. So, he's probably, because this is a team builder map, which if you don't know what that is, pretty much it's where you're able to choose whatever champion you want and whatever role you want, and then you'll get matched with teammates depending on that. And it's a very fun role to, or fun game type to play, rather. So let's see if I can secure a hook here. Grab the switch out. Okay, Trendemir wants to go in. I do too, but we're also talking about a Rengar who can probably just ult out of that situation. So instead of risking it, you know, it's an unnecessary risk. We don't need the kill, and he's not causing us any trouble. So that being the case, trying to go in there and get greedy is completely entirely unnecessary. So we're just gonna push up our lane. It looks like something's going on up here. Looks like Trendemir's getting wrecked a little bit. Even with his ultimate, I don't think he's going to be able to secure anything here. Maybe I can help. I don't want to KS this. And I really didn't want to have to do that. But I didn't know if he was going to be able to get him or not. Throw my lamp over there to get some souls. And that's one of the things with thresh. You gotta make sure you secure as many souls as you can that are necessary to secure. Obviously, you don't want to die over grabbing a soul because it's just a single soul. You gonna jump in on me? Let's not jump in on me. I'm gonna go ahead and hook this guy. And he is not gonna have a good time. Okay, they've got like a temporary tower going on here. Those are like one of the, I think it's Azir's passive that he can put up towers. I stopped playing League of Legends right before he came out, so I don't really know a whole lot about him. Oh, I failed. So this is the situation that I was kind of referring to earlier, where the enemy team can kind of come back and start running away with things if we allow them to do so. And some of the plays that I've been making lately, and clearly some of the plays that my allies have been making as well, I've definitely shown that, like, we're kind of letting them run away with it a little bit. And if we hadn't pushed as many turrets as we had, they probably would be kicking us pretty hard right now. That pink ward's been there for a while, I do believe, if it's the same one that was there before. I just seen the enemies reload this one. Okay, this guy's definitely... Oh, wow, he actually rolled this in. That was pretty good. Let's see if I can get a hook here. Okay, so now went over the wall. Oh, that was a nice rock throw. I think it support there. So we definitely don't need to be pushing this too hard because we don't even have the tower before it, and our minions aren't even close to taking it. So we can either shove this up and take their tower off of that, or, you know, we just gotta capitalize off of the situation as much as we can. Take Vayne over here, get a few more CS. I doubt we'll get this tower because she's so low, and they'll definitely come over to stop us. But, you know, we might actually do some good. So I'll throw a ward there. We'll see what happens. Okay, we got a little bit of CS off that. We'll get some damage on this tower. We might take it. It all depends. We'll see if Rengar decides to ult in. There's the Rengar. And there's not much I can do here. I'm kind of screwed in this situation. Unless I can manage to throw this Rengar off me in time. He's going to jump on me, and then I'll flash. There we go. I wanted to make sure that he didn't follow my flash through the wall, which he potentially could have done. So he's definitely in hot pursuit along with Twitch. So I want to keep moving as much as I can because they're definitely right behind me. Now that my Mobos have kicked in, though, I'm good to go.
An enemy has been slain.
Wander my way back. And Twitch, you know, just in general, even though he got pretty shut down early, even late game he's still going to be a problem. So he actually just ward jumped. That was pretty interesting. He jumped to our ward instead of, you know, their own ward, but still. They're definitely going to want to try to throw down as many wards here as we can. We don't want the enemy team denying us vision.
Has been slain.
So it looks like Twitch was downstairs farming by himself in bot lane. And that's going to force the enemies to kind of, you know, shy away from Baron. I don't think that they were actually going to do it, but they definitely were baiting it if nothing else. Like it. There we go. Oh crap. If I can. No? Okay. I didn't really want to stay there any longer anyways. But if we can keep them here, I would prefer it. Because the longer we keep them here, the longer people will keep messaging me on fucking Skype. So the longer we keep them here, the longer it'll take them to go back and stop us from pushing, which we pushed all the way, you know, we got their inhibitor, so obviously we did something right, or rather they did something wrong, which, like I mentioned at the beginning of the match, it's not always about making sure that you are doing things right, it's about making sure your enemies are doing things wrong, and then you'll get ahead easily.
Rampage.
So he's...
Your team has destroyed.
Rengar's a pretty destructive force right now, so if we're able to just keep him out of the fight, it'll be no problem. Ouch.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
See if I can't secure a kill on this one real quick. Thresh is obviously in no way a champion that you'd expect to secure kills, but, you know, time comes, you might be surprised what he can do. Not bad attack damage, and he also has ability power that increases with the amount of souls he collects, which, you know, can potentially be quite a lot. And although I don't really need magic resist against this team, I am probably going to build a Guardian Angel just because it's a really good item to have, especially late game. Not exactly an item I would build on a support very often, but it is nice to kind of have that reassurance that if you do go in, if you are the one leading the assault, and your team can't exactly capitalize on it as quickly as you'd like them to, if you do go down, you know, your team, you know, you got the entire enemy team who has to wait for you to come back up through your GA, and at that moment, they're kind of in the position where your team could jump in on them. Okay, so he's actually got boots and mobility as well. I don't know if that's a common thing to build on Thresh. I don't really look at other people's builds on Thresh very often. Typically, when I'm learning how to play a champion, I just build them however I want and learn how it works for me. Because people build their champions based on their play style, I think. And to try to build a champion based on someone else's playstyle might not always work for you. So I think it's kind of important that you make it your own. If I can actually pick up this Wraith camp. Fuck. He needs help. Alright, see if I can, okay, he's fine. He's fine, he just needs to walk it off. Make sure this wind guard doesn't jump back in on him, though. See if I can't get an assist for this. There we go. And, you know, you can do little mundane things like that to grab an assist real quick, as you can see. I didn't actually have anything to do with that kill. I just got the assist because I threw my lantern. But, you know, it's just little things like that to pick up a little extra gold here and there. You know, that allowed me to get my Guardian Angel, so I'm happy with that now. You know, I'm not doing bad this game. I'm 4-2 and 21. Honestly, as a support, if you're going tanky and aggressive, one of the best things you can do is keep your death count as low as possible. Because if you're being tanky and aggressive, you're going in and you're getting your 80 carry kills, and you're denying the enemy 80 carry kills, then, you know, that's perfect right there. So, you know, it's really just very, very well done. Get rid of this guard real quick. You know, it doesn't really matter how tanky you are at this point in the game. Anyone can get gift. Alright, I'm taking fire from double turret. We should probably get back and take these inhibitors down real quick. But we do have all of them down except for one, so honestly, we probably should be taking the Nexus turrets. But, you know, some people have a little bit more comfort in just, like, taking the inhibitors. Yeah, you see, this Finnegan is getting kind of frustrated. I'd like to end. Trust me, that is my preferred outcome. It's just not easy when, you know, I'm a support, I don't do much damage myself, I gotta rely on other people to end for me. Alright, so now this is definitely game over here. It's definitely went on a lot longer than I expected it to. I wanted to potentially make this video as short as possible, but, you know, my luck, of course, we went a long, long time, so I'm gonna be cutting this episode up, most likely. You probably won't be watching a 45-minute episode of League of Legends, but I appreciate you guys very much for sticking around and watching this. I hope you guys were able to learn something about Thresh. I love playing him. He's one of my favorite champions. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and until next time, guys, take it easy.